Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Men's Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Marikas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Scarry. And coach, last week, a successful week. The Tigers traveled up to Brooklyn, New York to take on Long Island, a pesky team, but they were playing with a full squad for just the third time this year.
Yeah, I think anytime you're on the road, right, you're going to get, there's challenges going on the road, right? The bus, the hotel, how you eat, new gym. Do they open the gym? Do they open the locker room? All that stuff.
Do they let you into the gym?
Yeah, there's certainly some challenges up there that were interesting. When we scheduled the series, it was with Derek Kellogg, who I've known for a long time, who had that place at the top of their league. They won 18 games last year, and I don't know the staff very well there now, but it was a difficult game day operations and environment were interesting, to say the least, Spiro. But we're happy to get out of there with the win.
Yeah, and the team was behind for much of the first half. You were down by 2 at halftime, but then you came on strong in the second half. And again, Cam Holden with another great performance. And again, you're playing without your top 2 point guards in Jason Gibson and Radir Hicks, as Radir got injured again in that ball game.
Yeah, we look a little bit different than we initially thought. That's, we've got to adjust to that. I think our guys are doing a good job adjusting. I know my staff has been working really hard to tweak some things, and so I'm pleased with that. I think we'll get there. The spirit of the group, like the want to be good, is there. So we've got to help them in some areas, and I think we will. But I do really like the group. And Cam, I think he was selling hot dogs at halftime and leading us in points, rebounds, assists. Picked up his Class C license to drive the bus home. I mean, what doesn't that guy do, right?
Well, let me tell you, he would have been the only one there selling hot dogs. Anyway, he had another great performance, and Charles Thompson kind of just exploded in the second half, ended up with 15 rebounds. I don't remember exactly how many he had at halftime, maybe 2 or 3, but he just exploded in the second half.
Yeah, it's so valuable when you keep Charles on the floor, and I like our other centers. Chris B has made strides, and obviously Chase is a good player. But Charles had his energy in the second half, whether it was blocking shots or dunking the ball or just coming up with key rebounds. He plays so hard, has such a good motor that it's key when he stays on the floor for us.
And then Ryan Conway, the freshman, hit a couple of big threes for you down the stretch.
Yeah, he did. He's got no fear for the moment. He's obviously talented. He's getting better. I mean, honestly, both our freshmen in the last couple of games have played long minutes and done it well. Him and Christian May, and what that's done for us, which will help us long term, it's given me trust in those guys. We recruited them because we thought they were going to be really good players, and we need them, and I believe they'll deliver for us.
All right, well, a busy week this week. 2 games, Wednesday at Clemson, Sunday, a rare home game here in 2022, as the Tigers will take on Navy at 4 o'clock. But let's start with Tigers versus Tigers. First of all, they're an ACC school, so they're going to be talented. But they've got 5 guys averaging double digits, and their 2 losses to South Carolina by 2 and to Iowa by 3, and they're coming off of big wins over Penn State and Wake Forest.
Yeah, Clemson's an NCAA tournament team that can win on that first weekend. Brad Brownell and his staff, he's got Billy Donlin there, and Coach Bender's great program. They're really good, really well coached. They're old, they're experienced. They play the right way on both sides of the ball, and they can really shoot. Taking away the 3-point shot is a major challenge against them. But our guys are excited to play a team. I think they can come in the top 5 in the ACC on the road, and national TV. It's a great opportunity for us. And as we start to get ready a little bit closer to conference play, it'll reveal some areas, hopefully, that we've made some strides in.
Well, Towson fans know from when Brownell was at UNCW, they're always going to be solid on the defensive end. They're holding their opponents below 40%. So you know that offensively, you're going to be in for a rock fight.
Yeah, well, you got to run good offense, right? You're on the road. That starts with taking care of the basketball. Can we have a great effort on the glass? Then, like anything, I thought our ball movement was good up at LIU. We didn't shoot the ball great. We're going to need to make some shots on Wednesday. Not settle, but we're going to need to make some shots. And then, you're going to you got to ride your horses in a game like that. So, Cam and Nick and Charles, and they're aware of that. They have to play at a high level.
And then Sunday at 4:00 at CQ, the midshipmen come in, a team you beat down in Annapolis last year. They are coming off a couple of losses, but they're 5-3 as we record this. And Tyler Nelson averaging 15 points and 6 rebounds a game. He's a handful.
Well, we know Navy's good. They play really hard, physical, both sides of the ball. Eddie DeChellis is a proven winner. So we've got the game spaced the right way for when we come back. We've got time to turn the page and prepare for them. But that's always a great opponent to have, Navy on your schedule, and we know that'll be a hard fought game.
And they're a team that they shoot the ball well, 48%. Opponents shooting 44% against them, and they rebound well. They're on the plus side on the boards also.
Yeah, they always rebound the ball. They play so hard. They're so physical. But for us, look, the Super Bowl is Wednesday night, and then we'll turn the page and get on to the next one. I can tell you a lot about Clemson because I've watched almost every game so far, and I will have watched them all. And then we'll get ready for the next one. And like I said, Clemson is a good ACC team that can win a couple games in the tournament. So it's going to be a stern test.
8-1. So you've played 9 games. These opponents coming up, are their styles similar to anybody you've played, or are they a new style that you're going to be looking at?
No, that's a good question. I think Clemson runs good offense. Some of their passing reminds me of a good job Northeastern does, and we were talking today that a couple of their set packages are similar to Charleston. So they're good. They just I wouldn't say similar. I mean they're a team that would win our league, obviously. So it's one of those marquee type of games or opportunities where your main guys have to play at a high level, and your ball security, your ability to compete on the backboards, and your ability to hopefully your defense can hold up against we pride ourselves on that, but against a really talented and well coached team with veterans and depth as far as they have great IQ. They're good. They're good club spirit. They really are.
All right, and final thing, the net rankings came out today for the first time, and the Tigers, I believe, 81st, 82nd in the net rankings. Were you surprised, not surprised by where you are, or just about where you expected?
I don't know enough. Like I'd hope to be a little. There's two sides. I'd hope to be a little higher. We do have 8 wins. Only 2 of them are at home. But I don't. The metrics on that. It's harder at our level. The thing that I am pleased about is we've got a really good program, and it's going to be good, and it's probably never enough, right? But the we've got a measure of consistency in our conference, and people know we're going to be a good team and a tough out. So we just want to try to, as we hopefully get guys back healthy, but we might not. So we got to continue to, coach some guys up and make a couple of the guys that are good players a little more comfortable, because we think they can step in and take on a bigger role for us. But I like the group, and I think it's a group that absolutely can be where we want to be, in a couple months. But no more. We don't want to be banged up anymore. That would be that makes it a little bit harder.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate the time. You got anything?
Once I never told you this. I went to this restaurant once and I interviewed. I had an interview to be a waiter, and the manager asked why you should hire me. I said I bring a lot to the table.
Goodbye, coach. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Tigers men's basketball report.